Hello and welcome to the Debrief. I'm Falcon and I'm joined by North.
Hi.
Panther.
Hello.
And returning star Irish.
Hello.
So today we have 2, maybe 3 topics to go over because we're currently in the middle of lockdown thanks to the event. Have we all had our daily injections of disinfectant?
Yeah.
Of course. Absolutely. I actually took 2 today because I'm planning on having a lie-in tomorrow.
Okay.
So I've taken a second one to try and tide me over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tide
I
Pods.
drank some bleach a minute ago, hoping that would kind of give me a bit more strength to carry me through the rest of the week.
Does anyone else's arm feel funny after the injection? Or is it just me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've also got a...
Testings as well. I feel mine are a bit weird.
Oh, okay. At least I'm not the only one.
I've also got a bit of a package of sunlight, UV rays coming in tomorrow if anyone's interested.
Oh, cool. Anyway, so onto the topics. The first one is something I find interesting. I'm not sure what everyone's opinion is, but I'll quickly go over it. It is the Airsoft Technical I can't even say it. Basically, it's an alliance of techs and companies that are joining together to, as they put it, encourage knowledge sharing and personal development across the industry and to ensure that new and experienced staff have access to support and development opportunities they require. So my understanding is that this group of techs and companies within the UK want to make a form of training scheme for techs and like a qualification in like quotation marks for techs to show that they are competent at doing tech work. Because how many people have we seen go, oh yes, I can do tech stuff, open up a gearbox and then lost half of everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not mention company names. But yes, not just them. I've actually seen other techs go around saying that they're absolutely the best, and then what I've got back is almost worse than a potato PC. But hey ho.
Yeah, that's
What about that tech that you spoke to a couple of years back now, Ben? That he had your riffs for like 6 months, and
That was the one I was talking about. Yeah.
Get back to you, and it was a bit like, well, what's going on here? And he just decided to take a convenient break without telling anyone.
Yeah, and then disappeared off the face of the planet.
Yeah, and he's it
would be annoyed at me when I went round to his shop and say, well, what's going on? I've not heard anything. So yeah, I've dealt with these sort of techs, and he claimed that his way of doing it was the best way of doing it, and nobody else in the industry does it that way. And I'm like, there can only be like 2 ways of fixing an airsoft riff, the right way or the wrong way. So
To be fair, I've dealt with a few, and all of them have been...
The guy we've got at the moment is absolutely amazing. I will say that.
But then again, though, it's like...
Huh?
It's like there's been quite a few companies. There's been quite a few companies that we've used, including like then personal people as well, and all of them, including like we've used, and they've basically done pretty decent jobs when and they've got a rife back pretty quick. So it's all a case of one, what kind of work you're asking to do, and two, how complicated it is.
Yeah, I think it depends on the riff as well. So anyway, opinions on the Alliance North.
So I think as long as it's not just like a big stamp like, oh hey look, I'm in this thing that I've set up so you can trust me, from the creators. I'm not saying that's what they'll do, but if they do put this stamp of approval that they've made on their own stuff, then it's a bit like, like, what is the qualification process for it? If you know what I mean? Like, just getting a load of people and going, oh yeah, we're setting up this thing to tell you if this guy's an approved tech. It's like, did 2 or 3 of them have to check it, or is it just one
A
person
competent
that has to
tech,
check
yeah.
it? Like, how many people from this group have to check how good the techie work is?
There is a Facebook group out there. I might join it to see what the hell's going on. Apparently, it's going to be £100 a day per head. Now, as one of our friends pointed out, learning airsoft tech isn't that quick.
No, but then
So yeah, I can.
Yeah. Oh, that's sakes. I mean, I work. I don't do any of this sort of like techie stuff as well as you guys have seen when we've been playing. I mean, day I got that M14 off you, Irish. The first thing we did was strap it up with duct tape. That's still on there. So I mean, that's about as techie as I get. So I mean, I don't do any of the internal work.
Is it meant to move? No, duct tape.
No,
is it
duct
meant to
tape.
move? Yes.
Yeah.
WD-40.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, don't put WD-40 on your hop units because you'll destroy your rubber.
see, I've done a little bit of like tech work myself. Like I'm alright with
you
like
managed to split
fixing.
your barrel in two somehow.
Yeah, but that was.
Anyway,
let's not go there.
let's not go there.
But like I'm alright at like fixing leaky gas mags and stuff. Like you
Actually,
go,
you're really
Josh.
good at that, yeah.
Chuck
on the field, if I'm hissing, I'm like, Josh, deal with that. I can do
Just chuck
it.
it to
I can
me.
do it at home.
Yeah.
When we're on the field and it's going, I'm like, Josh, come here, Josh, no, Josh. So right, Panther, what's your opinion? Do you think it's a good thing or not?
Honestly, when you've been explaining it, do you remember trustatrader.com?
Yes.
All of the adverts.
Check a trade.
Check a trade.
Yeah,
Checkatrade.com.
Checktrade.com.
Obviously, hashtag not spawn.
Yeah, not sponsored by these companies.
It honestly sounds a bit like that, so I reckon they may run it the same way.
What, have like a
They do
database?
those sorts of things. Yeah, basically. Run around that sort of thing, and have like a star rating systems about how good their fixes are and all the rest of it, how good their product, if that's
Yeah.
the right word, is about things. So maybe if they do it that way, it might work.
I could
But,
definitely.
I mean, if it's just going to be a big forum of like people that say, "I know how to do this," then it might not.
Yeah, I mean, there's people will give you all sorts of different ways of trying to solve a problem. So maybe it'd be like doing a basic welding course sort of thing, or bricklaying. Would
Yeah.
you trust a guy that shows up with a flipping tank and a welder going, "Yeah, I know what I'm doing"? Well, where's your qualification?
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? Especially when you're building like big projects like a ship or something, you don't want a bad welder. Yet within airsoft, anyone who says they can do tech work, you're like, yeah, right, then here's my nice big expensive airsoft gun.
They'll break it.
And then I mean I've seen Evo shell that was meant to be done by a certified tech for Evo stuff, and what came back was bent. The shell itself for the gearbox was bent. So I don't know.
Wasn't there wires welded where there shouldn't be welded?
Oh yeah, just badly done solder jobs and flipping wire tape and everything. Oh, electrical tape all over the place.
See,
It
to
was.
me, if they were going to put
Also-
pros quotation, they'd definitely have like a. I don't mind if it'd be like a low level sort of like electrician's qualification, but that'd be a good start.
Yeah, because my
Yeah.
soldering work is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You just
I'm
like,
surprised
chuck a
I
load of
haven't.
solder on there and melt it all together, and then like chuck a bit more, and then melt all the solder off, and then just chuck one.
Yeah, I'm
of the
surprised I
fucking
haven't burnt my fingers yet with just the
Thinky.
electricity.
Tinky.
To be fair, you've done a pretty good
Things.
job with my MP5 though.
Yeah, because I bought a little tube that had the solder in it. All I had to do was heat it up, and it seals itself. So I cheated.
And
Anyway,
exactly at the end of the day, like you employ a lazy person because they find the easiest way to do it.
oh thanks.
No, I'm just saying is you want a quick fix. You don't like sort of tinker there with doing it. You just go, right, you know how to fix this quickly. Go on, do it.
I've got something at home for this.
Yeah, it's
Actually,
not
it's
like...
still sat on my desk under my monitor right now. Actually, I'm looking at them. Anyway, so Irish, what's your opinion?
Well, again, it depends on who's actually going to be marking it. Like, are they like the best gun techs in the country? And like, how do you know that what they are telling you to do is accurate?
Yeah, someone did point out who's making the qualifications, who's like doing what gives you. He said to the person posting this, what gives you the qualification to
Exactly
assess others? And I left a comment going, well, who was the first person to make a qualification for welding, bricklaying, and all these other things? Bodies of people need to come together to make a standard, because they go, well, hang on, we've all got a way of doing it. Let's put all our ideas and find the best way of doing it, and this will become the standard.
Yeah.
There's a standard for a reason, because people went, maybe we should find a better way of doing this.
To be fair, that's actually a pretty good point. Like, no one's ever actually done this before, and I think it's a bloody brilliant idea, because it allows people that want to run their own sites in the future. If they've got like a certified weapon technician on the site, like a marshal, then people are going to be like, oh yeah, okay, and they might pass their guns to them for like a quick fix for like half an hour, 45 minutes while they're using another gun and stuff like that. And I think it would be really good, and it would also boost sites as well.
Right. I've just literally thought of a bad side to this.
Oh.
What if your trusted tech, say the guy we trust, doesn't sign up to this? And
we know that we basically used the wrong person for the last 2
years. Because we've got past experience. But if someone else goes, oh yeah, use this guy, and they go, well, is he ATCA? No, but he's really bloody good. Well, I'm not going to use him then.
Well, I suppose it's a case of like, it's a case of personal preference. Like,
oh yeah, if you've got
the guy that we normally use, he might not want to basically go on this and get the qualification, but I would probably end up trusting him with my stuff more than someone that has got this qualification that you don't know.
Yeah. Because
obviously you're friendly with him, he's going to be more careful.
You've got the experience, and he's also got backing from someone we trust as well.
Yeah, well, a heck of a lot of people. If you ask anybody, they'll go, yeah, that's your guy, that's your guy, that's your guy. So
I'm just thinking, could it also put some techs out because they don't want to sign up to ATCA? If they think
it's going to be an opportunity for people to hike up their prices because they've got this special badge.
There's also that.
That's
one
another
as well.
good point.
I think it's something we're going to have to watch closely.
Or triple, because they have this special badge that say they can solder.
Yeah. I think it's something going to. I mean, upgrading. If we're doing upgrading work, then I would send it. Like, if I had a sniper rifle, I would go to someone who knows their sniper stuff and go, yeah, I'm looking for this to be hot as anything. Come on, make it great. But if it's just an AEG, then I would go back to my guy, because he's done AEGs and he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is he doesn't he basically he'll give you an invoice for the parts. He'll pay for the parts, and then he'll say it's £20 for labour.
Yeah.
Which I think's bloody brilliant.
Yeah.
So you just pay for parts and the £20. So you could say, I want so many different parts in, whereas quite a lot of them will will charge you per part for labour.
Yeah.
And it could end up being...
They'll add a bit on, and they'll probably buy it wholesale anyway.
Yeah,
right.
So they'll end up adding an extra £2 or £3, or maybe more per part, depending on what it is.
Yep.
And then they'll add even more, like Joe said, because they've got this shiny, swanky little badge that says, I'm a tech.
So, it has potential to be good and bad at the same time, depending on... I think it depends on the person that gets the ATCA.
There's also got to be restrictions, I think, as well.
Yeah.
You can't charge extortionate amounts.
How are you going to police it as well? That's the next question.
True. Will they have to renew every year or every 6 months?
Well, who's going to check people's standards? I could go off, do this course, say, yeah, I'm ATCA certified, do absolutely terrible, and then who's going to? Is there going to be a body to?
There could be a review rating section.
Well, think about it though, right? It's the same as anything, isn't it? Like, you get a dodgy job done by, let's say, a builder in your home. Who's the first person you go to?
Trading
standards.
Yeah. So is there going to be Is there going to be a body to? I can't think of the bloody word.
Police.
Yeah, no,
police it, but more of a
monitor it.
Yeah, a monitoring body.
Well, the same. Probably end up being the same people who run the qualification. They could take over policing it as well if they've got full-time staff.
Yep.
To be able to then monitor what is going on and all the good reviews and all the bad reviews, and then you can go on and see reviews from different people. A bit like bloody Checker Trade.
Yeah. Right.
Is it going to be courses? Like, so they will teach people to tech, like, here's how to do it, and then give them the special sticker, or is it just going to be sticker given out? If you know what I mean?
No idea at this time. I think it's going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on and come back to at a later date.
I wouldn't mind doing it, to be fair.
The price I've heard is a bit extortionate at the moment, £100 a day.
Yeah,
a day, but
it depends how in depth that is.
Yeah.
As well.
If it's like, well, think about it though. Imagine like we could then, let's say for example, I decide to go and do it, or two of us decide to go and do it, like me and Ben, for example.
Yeah.
Then we could then have it on our site. We could have it on the Fireteam Rogue page that two of our members are certified.
It does intrigue me because of the way I learn. I learn better one-to-one. If someone is sitting there with me pointing to things as I'm doing it, I can pick something up and go, right, that's that, and they can correct me. Whereas, yes, there are hundreds of thousands of YouTube videos on how to do tech work, but I'm constantly pausing, rewinding, trying to... And I'm looking at my gun, trying to compare it to what's on the screen.
Yeah.
And unless you have the same model, or... I know it's fair enough with M4s, but if you've got like an EBB, or they have just a... You see what I'm saying? If something doesn't match up...
Yeah, certain models have literally tiny little differences, like one screen might be in a different place, or one part might be slightly bigger or slightly smaller. It screws you, it puts you off.
Prime example of that is my MP5. I mean, as you guys have tested as well, like the magazine doesn't fit every MP5 mag.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's down to the riff, but when you open it up, when you're trying to do this work while also watching a YouTube video, you're constantly pausing, and then it's like, then they carry on and you just lose yourself because there's so many stop, starts.
Yeah.
So I think one-to-one... Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but like, what are they going to test you on? Like we just said, every single AG and ref is different. Are you going to get this special sticker because you can fix M4
TM
kind of stuff because they're all fairly standard? And then you go, I've got this special sticker, and someone brings like an AK to you, and you're like, oh.
Well, the first gearbox I took apart was an AK one. And
yeah, but what I mean is, like, they're going to be different. Like, my M240 is different to an M4.
Yeah.
Well, someone's got a special sticker doesn't mean they can necessarily fix everything. Well,
I've got two LED5s, and both their gearbox are different. I've got two M4s, and one of them's a Cymer course, is a Cymer. The other one is a Spectre Arms core system. Two completely different gearboxes, because the core system it's got a quick change spring on the back without having to take the body apart. My AK is Cymer, but you guys have got APS. I've the TM and the recoil are two different gearboxes, EBBRs, GBBR, and stuff like that. So when you break down the different airsoft gearboxes out there, it could be version 3, version 2, EBBR.
They're all going to be different. They're all going to be different. Tiny little minute ones that you'd be like, wait, that doesn't match up to what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
And
could be G3.
Like my M4 might be different to your M4 and different to like North's M16, but they're all the same platform.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
the basics of airsoft gearboxes all work the same. This gear turns around and moves the piston, and then that pushes air out through the nozzle. But it'll be the way it's laid out due to the body of the riff will be different. So anyway,
but then actually, I've just realised something.
Go on.
If the fundamentals of fixing an airsoft gun is going to be the same no matter what model you have got, no matter what. Like, for example, they might teach you on, okay, so your gearbox is jammed, so all you need to do is take it apart and check these 4 parts to see what's wrong.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, it's not engaging. It could be something to do with your motor. This is what you need to check on the motor, and it might be generic stuff across all AEGs. And then they might do the same with the gas blowbacks and the electric blowbacks. I don't think it would be like riff specific, like M4s, AKs. It might just be, this is what sound it's making, for example. These are the parts you need to check.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell when you strip teeth on your piston. But as we were saying, TM or a recoil system will be different to an EBBR or a standard AEG. AKs are different to G36s, LH5s, M14s. So will there be specific courses to understand how to dismantle these gearboxes and how they lay out?
But then why would you, at the end of the day, why would you want to, like, pretty much most of them are going to be the same, like in all electric ones, the motor is going to be in the pistol grip.
My ICS one isn't.
But that's just,
again, bullpup or stand or normal configuration is the next question.
But then most of them are going to be the same. Like, they're going to have the pistons, they're going to have the barrels, the hop. And if they say, right, this is what's happening, like the BB's dropping, it's going to be something to do with the hop. Here's 10 things you could check. Yeah. Here's 20 things you could check for something else. That's the way that I think they would go down it. So you know what to look for in terms of, like, the sound, like the velocity, if it's losing, like, FPS, what to check for. It might not be, like I said, it might not be riff specific. It might just be, this is what you need to check.
Fair enough. I think.
Yeah.
So why would you want to spend £100 or let's say £300 for a 3-day course on how to deal with M4s? Then realise the vast majority of people have got AKs. Then you spend another £300 for an AK course, and before you know it, you spent like $3,000 or more. Yeah,
that is going to be what
people ain't gonna want to spend that much money on becoming a tech because you won't make that money back for a very, very long time. So you have like a 3-day course at, let's say, £100, and they teach you the basics. They teach you what to look for, what to fix, and this. Then more people will go.
Well, again, it's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. So,
definitely.
How's everyone's mental health with this time of lockdown? How is everyone's mental health with this?
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there.
Well,
it's not worth. So.
Because otherwise, this video, if I went there as to what my mental health has had to endure over the past 2 weeks, we would be here for the next 20 years.
Well, we haven't done anything stupid yet, like firing blank rifles off our balconies in Kent, have we?
Yes.
Oh, so you
surprised me.
So
no, my guns are getting lonely.
Yeah. So yes, down a couple of days ago, down in, I think it was Chatham Docks, someone who is not an airsofter, but may have had an airsoft rifle, we're not 100% sure, decided to have a bit of a mental breakdown on Instagram. Now, I was going to load up his page and show a couple of the videos. Unfortunately, the Instagram page has been removed. Now, what it was, thankfully, thanks to Facebook, someone managed to save a video, and I have that video available. I'll get that up in a moment. So,
I've got it.
yes, this was apparently a guy that was something to do with the music industry, and he goes a bit balmy here.
Nigga, hit him up.
He's got his beats, mate.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that's it. Why does it look... It looked blue there.
I don't know. Anyway, so I'll stop sharing now. Yeah, so there was several videos. He had 2 G36s of varying designs, at least 2 Desert Eagles, and we know at least one of them is a blank firing. I think he may have also had a shotgun, I'm not sure. I saw a video on Twitter from on the street with him waving it up about and everything, and when it first was reported, I thought I saw a muzzle flash there, and everyone's going in the airsoft community was like, "Oh, it's airsoft guns! It's airsoft guns! It's airsoft guns!" And then this is confirmed; they're blanks. So mental butch.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, can you remember when we were at an airsoft game and like we had the ability in a safe environment to fire blanks?
Yeah, they're loud.
Yeah, because
And honestly, Dave, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference in the noise.
Not on an airsoft pitch, because those that don't airsoft and stuff, very often, if you've ever thrown a Mark 5 on the front,
I love
best
that.
I can describe one of the marshals we shoot, and he's got a blank fire pistol, again legally, and it honestly sounds like someone's popping off a few thunder flashes. But I mean, out in like the Kent, that's a bit different. I mean,
Right? Why would
On top of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
On top of a
Well,
tower.
it's like that guy. It's like that guy we spoke about last time on like.
On top of
that was like videoing himself on top of a video on a small building where everybody around him could see him
in the middle of New York City. On a public building.
Why?
Well,
Natural selection needs to get these people.
There's a couple more videos that were on his Instagram, and he's basically shouting at the camera, "Call the police! Call the police!" And I think he was gunning for a fight. Say again, Joe?
I'm about to say that's
He just wanted some friendship.
Yeah.
Lonely.
Yeah. And like I said, he's basically he's gunning for a fight. Now, one of the G36s was two-tone. The other one was black and sort of like a green MTP camouflage. So this is what... Yeah, this is where we're not sure if the G36s were airsoft or not, but he was carrying the camouflage one on his body. The police did raid him and he was arrested. Like I said, his Instagram has now disappeared. But yeah, it's...
Flexing Mike.
I'm going to have to go through this and bleep all this flipping shit out. Thanks, Josh.
Sorry.
But yes.
We're just making editing more fun for you.
Oh yes.
I know lockdown is hard on people, but apparently he's not the only one doing weird stuff with airsoft.
Ben said hard on.
Apparently he's not the only one doing weird stuff. Airsofters are going out. I've heard that someone has seen that their local gun club has shut, so decided to walk onto it with his airsoft stuff and go shooting, and posted this all over Facebook.
Idiot.
Yes, there's some that have been out doing photo shoots in their gear somewhere, with I don't know with family members or not, but yeah, there's people out. I've seen some really weird TikTok style videos where they're like passing a magazine in between each other, putting it up to the camera, and then changing into their airsoft kit.
That's a pretty cool one to do, actually, if you're in like an environment where you're at home.
Oh yeah, it was done at home, but it's just I kind of find those things a bit cringeworthy. I don't know, just feels weird doing it.
I'm waiting for a Saki comment from someone. Then
No, I've got nothing.
you got nothing.
That's a first.
North's got nothing.
That's a first.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, North is speechless. North does not have a comeback.
I mean, we could go into an extensive list of cringeworthy things that airsofters have done in the past, and the list is extensive, depending on perspective and objectivity.
We could have a long, hard giggle about a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, I don't have the resources.
Basically, the community is shit.
Not all of them. I find the ones that take themselves a little too seriously need to relax.
Gucci.
Well, I mean that plate carrier, that Recon Viper plate carrier I got off you, I've made it look good, but it's cheap as chips.
You don't have to spend thousands of pounds on gear, because at the end of the day you're going to spend probably 1 day, 2 days a month using it.
Yes.
And nobody, I don't think in the 5 years that we've been doing airsoft, I don't think I've ever heard anybody go, "Oh, your kit looks very, very expensive." No. People don't, unless it's... I've never heard anybody say that.
I think I said to someone, "Oh, where'd you get that plate carrier?" And he's gone, "Oh, it's Warrior." And I've gone, that's expensive. And
it's
that
things
put me
like
off.
that, like, but you can't, to be fair, what I'm trying to say is you can't tell the difference between the cheap and the Gucci. Like, you
can
could go
when
on
you look
Amazon
closely
or...
You can when you look closely at it, and when you stood running
Yeah,
in the brief.
but
when they're running around shooting
all
at you,
does-
your thought is, "Crap, I need to shoot back."
You're a target.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a target, that's it.
And more than likely, you have to know what you're looking for to be able to tell the difference between, like, sort of the stuff you get off Taiwan Gun and Warrior. Yes, probably Warrior would last a lot longer, and it's probably more durable, but at the end of the day, is the Taiwan Gun stuff is actually pretty damn good.
Oh yeah, not saying it's not good, but I will say this: the stuff you get off Taiwan Gun versus Warrior, Taiwan Gun's slightly brighter. Do you know what I mean? It feels...
Yeah.
Whereas the Warrior stuff is toned down, it's sort of all blended in, and it looks like the camouflage you're wearing, whereas the Taiwan's the 8-field stuff is very bright. I mean, no offence, Panther, but your plate carrier that you and Psycho have, compare that to Osprey, and you can tell what's real steel and what's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair. But as I say, I mean,
Yeah, but that's because looking...
Psycho, 84 quid for a plate carrier was expensive for us back then.
Well, yes, I know.
So you've got to go on budget, ain't you?
I wouldn't spend £85 on a plate carrier.
But saying that,
looking at Osprey as well, you've got to remember that Osprey is MTP.
Yes.
And most of everything else is multicam.
Well, there is that one.
So, while based on similar premises, are ultimately different camouflages.
Yes. I will say I have worn the plate carrier. It's the Panther and Psycho I've got. It's it's a replica of the American Interceptor armor. It's like folds over at the front, and is bloody comfortable. I do actually want to get a set.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
if I could, I'm tempted to do a ACU American Army style of get up, and I would definitely go for an 8-field Interceptor style of plate carrier, because it is.
I
really
want to do World War II. I do.
The one thing I love about that thing, it's got like a neck protector.
Yes.
Over the top, which isn't very common in plate carriers.
No.
You see, I mean, you guys have got your big digital vest plate carriers, and although they're pretty decent for all your mag holds, they don't protect your neck too much. And for someone like me that gets shot in the throat every every time. God sake. So,
Well, maybe you need to
But,
duck
yeah.
quicker.
yeah, that's what I keep saying.
Oh well. That's where I wear the scarf.
I think,
That's where I wear
yeah,
my
I think the only thing that the only type of stuff that I would actually genuinely fork out for is probably World War Two.
Yep.
Yeah, custom
Because you
stuff like
can't,
that.
because you can't get anything cheap. You can't get anything cheap.
No.
No matter where you look, it's always expensive.
Yeah.
But it looks damn beautiful.
So, anything else airsoft related people want to talk about?
Not really. The airsoft community has been pretty dead recently, to be fair.
Well, we are in
With
the
all-
middle of
yeah,
lockdown.
With Rona flying around.
The occasional video of someone training in the back garden, all that.
Yeah,
And you just
training. What's our stances on doing training?
What's the point?
I mean, I could understand training to get better squad cohesion, but
You can train, obviously, like, in terms of, you can learn all, like, sort of radio commands and stuff like that, but
tactics and
to be
stuff
fair,
like that.
you can't really like, you can learn tactics, but most of the time it's a case of, like, when you do tactics at airsoft, 9 times out of 10 it don't work, because
Yeah.
The plan,
you've got someone just hiding in a bush, you can't see them.
no plan ever
you get
survives
shot
contact
at.
with the enemy.
No.
Yeah, so
So the best plan is just to run. Just run in, shoot as much as you can, because you're going to die anyway.
the thing I have
a
with
very
rifle,
cheerful point of view.
it's like doing rifle drills and pistol drills. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy if you're in a controlled environment on a shooting range doing a competition. When you're in the middle of a firefight, yeah, you need to sort of know where your mags are on your chest and your belt, but you could be prone, you could be on your back, you could be on a tree, in a building. The stance you're in can be completely different to what you've trained on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to base your stance on the environment you've got around you, ain't you?
Yeah, I mean,
It's all about, terrain.
North has done rifle drills in the military, and do they teach you muscle memory sort of things, or do they just teach you get loaded as quick as you can and shoot back, Joe?
Are you asking me, do we stand there for hours on end just reloading?
I'm asking you what the
So
sort
that's
of
what you're asking me.
the sort of military training for British infantry is for
No, so
combat.
you trained like the drill, like, reload, you take your mag off, then you put a new one on, and then you release the bolt forward, and then you tap forward assist, and that's what you taught. Like, when you do your weapons handling test, they don't time you on that and all that. You like, our magazines aren't even in a set position. Some people have them on their body armor, some people have them on the belt. There isn't anything like that. I don't know if it's different for infantry. Obviously, me not being infantry.
Yeah, but I'm
but-
talking your phase one.
Oh, you
Ultimately-
like big guns, to be fair.
No, you just taught, do it as fast as you can. If you need to, drop a mag on the floor and then pick it up after. Don't just leave it on the floor.
Gets round down target as quick as you can.
Yeah,
more
put it on the
thing.
floor. If you're in a position to do so, get it on, and then pick it up. Just make sure you're ready to go. We're not so much expected, but it is preferred if you can do it all like on the move. It's not expected like, but
Yeah.
you should ideally be able to do it.
I
kind of thing.
did see a
Ideally.
video of a load of guys in full tack kit doing like push-ups and PT, physical training. And again, I thought, okay, that seems a bit extreme for just airsoft. I can understand it if you're doing it to get your fitness up, especially like with the lockdown and everything. Load up.
Well, I
your
don't know if that.
Load up, if you've
Yeah.
got heavy shit in your airsoft kit, load up your plate carriers with mags, sand, whatever else you can get, and you've got weights. Just use them as your weights. But to do it for...
To be fair, most of it, I reckon, would be leg training. I mean, Christ, how many times have we been shot on the top of the hill and then had to run down to a spawn post
and then go back up the hill,
again, to get shot again.
Again,
run back down,
again with the training, it's...
Back up.
Again, with the training that these elite groups do, as they like to think themselves, it's more in a controlled environment. It doesn't... You can't really put that to airsoft. How many times are you going to do push-up? How many push-ups are you going to do in 5 minutes while you're in the middle of an airsoft game? Most you'll do is
how essential is it?
to get yourself up off the floor when you're down prone.
Yeah.
How essential is it to do? Like, you know, we've been to a variety of airsoft games. How many airsoft games and sites have you been to where you need to like lift your own body weight, for example,
and hold it there?
Like,
I don't think.
No, I haven't.
It's not a thing. You don't need
Well,
to do it.
yeah,
The most I've done for a push-up is to get myself out of the prone position, and even then, I'm on my knees. I lift my body up and sit up on my knees, and then I move my legs. I don't do this whole 2 hands pivot on my toes thing. Because again, if you're on the side of a hill...
You're saying you don't do a proper push-up to stand up?
No, I'm just saying that's the only time I've had to push off the ground in any form of... is to get up when I've been prone. And even then, it's not a proper push-up.
The most fitness kind of training, let's say, you would need, not even need, is cardio. It's just basic fitness, and that's only like probably if you're doing like speed soft, you don't want to get like you don't want to die halfway through the day, or milsim, like you need to be able to keep going for long periods of time. And there are two different levels of fitness, you know, one's fast paced in a short period, one's slightly slower and long. That's still two extremes. For your average skirmish, you don't need fitness, you don't need strength.
That milsim
To be fair, come on,
we didn't stop for
when
that.
when we did.
Yeah, it didn't stop for almost 8
It
hours
was
or
honestly,
something, wasn't it?
No, we literally like had probably a couple of minutes to get a chocolate bar down our throats and some water, because we were like, oh yeah, you needed to go and defend the bridge. Oh yeah, the next mission, like you're on quick response, and it's like, come on, can we at least have a break so we can get some food?
North had to put his foot
And it
down
was.
there,
We started at 8 o'clock, and I don't actually think that we had any food until at least about 2:30, 3 o'clock.
It was
Yeah,
something
about
like that.
3 o'clock, weren't it? We officially had downtime. We were on quick reaction force, weren't we? I remember this now. Down at
At the
But
site.
even then, we didn't even get a break because the enemy attacked our base as well.
yeah, exactly. So we were like eating while we were shooting.
We were there, and Ben was there, like sitting in the thing. Like, I want to eat the pot noodle.
It's like, yeah, guys,
They just shut me down.
none of us
apparently they're
had
going to
none of
hit.
us
What do you
had
mean?
helmets
Ding-ding-ding-ding. Yeah, no body armour, no helmets, no weapons.
We had no body armour, no helmets. The only things we had on were goggles, and all of our weapons were outside because we were just wandering, thinking, oh, we don't need them. They were all reloaded, but we couldn't get to them because we were surrounded. So we were popping off pistol rounds left, right, and centre. Please!
Things off the steel plates, yeah.
Right.
I really love that milsim.
I think that'll do
While
for now.
it was hard though, that wasn't impossible. For people who haven't done fitness, like varying levels of fitness and all that, it wasn't impossible for all of us. We were tired at the end of it, but we managed.
Yeah.
Like, my point is, you don't need fitness training to do airsoft.
Right, so...
No, it just proves the point.
Okay, I think
You don't need to
that's
be,
everything covered.
like, six-pack ripped.
Yeah, so I think that's everything covered for tonight. So, ATCA, we think it's got potential.
Massive potential.
Yep. Please don't go walking around with your with any replica firearms, be it airsoft, blank, or anything else like that, in public, on balconies, or anything like that. And make sure you're fit for skirmish.
Yeah.
It will not do you any good if you pass out halfway through a game.
Yeah, you'll end up with a mustache drawn on your face.
Yeah, exactly, especially around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like and subscribe for more content. If you want anything specific to talk about on the next month's debrief, leave it in the comments below. Thank you and good night.